players, coaches, and organizers for their hard work in making this year's Arby's Classic a huge success. Arby's would also like to welcome our visitors. Thank you for supporting young talent in the Classic. Arby's invites you to visit the concession stand for a delicious Arby's sandwich or stop by one of our 14 Arby's locations, including our newest location on West State Street, where we have the meats. At Trust, our purpose is to inspire and build better lives and communities. And every day, the pursuit of better drives us to empower clients with more choices, teammates with more fulfillment, and communities with more hope. We boldly believe in the power of what we can achieve together. Let's do it with Trust Bank. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Bristol, Tennessee and Tennessee High School's Viking Hall for game number 9 of the 38th annual Arby's Classic. This game features the Amarillo High School Sandies from Amarillo, Texas versus the Westridge High School Wolves from Bluffville, Tennessee. And now for lineups tonight, beginning with the reserve players for Westridge. Wearing number 12, True Vance. Number 20, Chris Watkins. Number 25, Wade Richard. Number 32, Dave Barnes. Number 33, Parker Lemming. Number 34, Houston Sherpy. Number 42, Dale Bryant. And number 50, Dawson Arnold. And now starters for the Wolves. 6-foot senior, a guard, number 10, Cooper Johnson. 6'2" senior, guard, number 11, Ty Barb. 6'1" senior, a guard, number 22, Jackson Dean. 6'3" senior, at forward, number 24, Preston Sands. And a 6'4" senior, forward, number 54, Ethan Bergeron. The Wolves are coached by head coach John Dyer, assisted by Mark Middleton, Chase Arnold, and Tyler Harmon. And now reserves for the Sandies of Amarillo. Number 1, Jackson Williams. Number 5, Drew Schaefer. Number 10, Cooper Pillion. Number 14, Braden Howson. Number 20, Mason Graham. And number 23, Javon Daniels. Starters for the Sandies. A 5'9" guard, number 2, Corey Nicholson Jr. 6-foot guard, number 3, Zay Landry Britton. 6'4" guard, number 15, Brendan Howson. 7-foot post, number 21, Kay Hornecker. 6'6" wing, number 22, Devon Woods. Sandies are coached by head coach Jason Pillion, assisted by Benji Housen, Jacob Dawson, Veronica Watkins. Official score for tonight's game, Denise Lane. Clock operator, Mike Gross. Your game officials are Brian Trentham, Troy Baker, and Paul Middleton.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 38th Annual Arby's Classic. Coach Charlie Tiller here with you, and I am now joined by our other announcer, C.J. Manahan, is here in the booth with us as we get ready for this game. This is the third game of the day here, and it should be a dandy. We've got the Sandies of Amarillo, Texas, taking on the Wolves of Westridge. So both teams making their initial Arby's Classic appearance. It appears that we're going to start with a technical free throw. I assume it was a bookkeeping error of some sort. I didn't hear. I was too busy talking and didn't hear the PA guy. So
I'm assuming so, as far as that goes.
That's the only thing I can think of. I can't imagine the coach getting a technical. I mean, I've been mad, but I don't know that I've ever been that mad before a game started.
Didn't see any back and forth between the refs and the coaches during pregame. So
I mean, sometimes I come in and I see some guys come in and it's like, oh no, but don't usually try to get one that early. So we're underway with Westridge. Didn't even get to start with the jump ball.
Something new.
Okay.
Had a little bit of a technical foul with a player grabbing the rim in warm up. That's one of them old school rules there.
Yeah, you don't see that
modern
very
day.
often.
I don't think that gets called real often.
All right, here's a jumper for the Wolves, no good. Offensive rebound, a little penetration, a little runner right there is good by Jackson Dean. So that gets the Wolves on the scoreboard in addition to the foul shots. So here we go.
2-3 looks like here from Westridge.
Long three-pointer is no good. Of course, Amarillo comes in with a little bit of a size advantage here. So
it's pretty requisite a lot of times in these first-round Arby's Classic games. East Tennessee teams tend to be at a little bit of a size disadvantage, but what we find is that that first day is always kind of interesting because those teams have had to travel so far, and a lot of our local teams tend to overplay themselves to a certain extent in these first round games.
A lot of times. I mean, you definitely saw that yesterday in the first half with Volunteer really hanging in yesterday with Dr. Phillips. So we'll see if the Wolves can hang in this one against a really talented Amarillo team. We'll be talking about the Sandies here as we get into this, getting to know these guys a little bit. Nice little dive action against the zone. A little up and under, and he's got it. And that's DeMons Woods.
Yeah, that's where that size comes in right there. Just that little bit of up and under move with nobody at the rim to be able to challenge Williams there.
Here's a steal, a little lob. Can't get it to go. And we're going to have a foul. And Woods will pick up his first.
We got 6'6" and 7 foot in the front court here for the Sandies. So that's it's just huge advantage. And Bergeron runs about 6'4". So again, right out of the gate, picking up his first foul though, right there in the early phase, that was big.
Yeah, and I know as a coach you hate it when that first foul occurs 94 feet away.
That's the truth. Yeah, 90 feet from the basket right there is not the place that you want your 6'6" power forward to be picking up his first.
Good ball movement,
right
3
there.
on the way.
Oop.
No good, and
Oh,
we're going to have a
that's second,
foul.
I think. Yeah,
And it looks like it might be on Woods as well.
it is. Yep.
Yes, indeed. So DeMons Woods picks up his second, and he'll have to go take a seat for a little bit. Cooper Pillion, easy for me to say, checking into the ball game.
Good patience here by Westridge. They've got the Sandys and their feet kind of set right now on that defensive end. They can get that ball moving from side to side. A couple of ball screens right here. That's one thing about the size advantage is that size doesn't necessarily always translate well to the perimeter. And we got a real guard-heavy offense here for Westridge.
Ethan Bergeron on cue knocks down.
As I say that, their center hits a 3 from the top
100%. Well, we all know, Coach Dyer's been at this a long time, and if there's one thing that man likes his teams to do, it's to shoot a lot of threes.
That is the truth.
That is definitely a John Dyer staple. 3 on the way for the Sandys, and that's good. That's
good ball movement on that.
Brendan Housen.
Nice side-to-side movement there. Open that up for Amarillo. Anytime you get those types of looks, those are your best options in that half-court set.
Oh, trying to do a little too much. Good steal. Plays it off the referee. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
It is. Inside-out action there. That's nice.
3 on the way is pure.
Great execution on those last 2 possessions. Good ball movement around the perimeter and then an inside-out look for 3. That's about as good as you can do in a half-court set right there.
Zay Landry Britton on that one.
Really nicely done.
Yeah, that's a good thing to be able to put a big guy at the high post like that and be a hub.
Right there.
Pretty nice 3 right there from Ty Barb.
Action picking up here a little bit.
Yes, indeed. Well, you start out feeling each other out a little bit, and then here we go. And
3 straight buckets.
That's Brendan Housen.
Up and down right here. Bergeron beat him down the floor. There you go.
Like when you see your big guy run the floor.
Leaked out a little bit right there. I think you saw when that ball went through that he could beat their center down the floor. A nice look ahead. There it is right there inside. Perfect. Wow.
That's Cade Hornecker.
4 buckets in a row on this end.
7-foot post player right there, Hornecker.
Looked pretty natural right there with that jump shot, too.
Sure did.
Stepped right into it. Looks like he moves pretty well, too. Long, athletic guy.
Good extra pass right there. 3 on the way is way short.
Yeah. Both teams getting good looks, though, just about every possession. Not shooting challenge shots, really moving the ball around, 3-4 passes. That's nice.
Really good.
Yeah, that's super.
Really good stuff right there for the Sandys. Is Cooper Pillion will get the layup, but it's Hornecker, of course, who set him up.
Yeah, that's an Arby's classic special right there. We're just not going to see that type of play here in this part of the state. That's an adjustment these guys are going to have to make. Right, all of a sudden you see that they're going to try to run their offense through that 7-foot center at the free throw line. He can shoot, pass, do everything.
3 on the way.
You're starting to see this offense really
Zay
click.
Landry Britton.
Yeah.
And Coach Dyer's going to take a quick timeout.
Offense is clicking on this end, that's for sure.
If they've got a little rhythm going. So we'll get a 30-second timeout. We'll take it with them. 30-second timeout. You're watching the Arby's Classic on the Viking Sports Network.
In for the Sandys, number 23, Javin Daniels. Fellowship Church would like to invite you to the Grace Place to discover God's grace for your life through a relationship with Jesus Christ. Located at 201 Crockett Street, Bristol, Virginia. You can also check out our website at fellowshipchapel.us.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 38th Annual Arby's Classic. Charlie Tiller here with CJ Manahan and our producer, Colin Moore. We've got a pretty entertaining up-and-down matchup here early in the first quarter as Amarillo, the Sandys, have jumped on top of the Westridge Wolves 17-12.
Good half-court action. There's not been a lot in the full court. It's been mostly half-court execution here. A couple of little run-outs there, but really pretty impressive execution on both ends.
Pretty well-disciplined teams, it appears.
Well-coached, like perimeter-oriented, but we've also seen quite a bit of high post action on the Amarillo end when you got a 7-foot center to be able to.
Corner three is pure. That's Wade Witcher.
On cue, right? Perimeter passing. Got a nice little step-in three there for Witcher. Is able to knock it down. Wonder if Coach Dyer is going to jump out of this. He's already modifying it. I see a little bit. He's starting to drop.
Going to more of a 1-2-2 now.
Yeah, dropping a guard down into the post there.
But they give up the corner three, and the Sandy's Drew Schaefer just into the game says, "Hello, welcome to Bristol." Barb draws a foul. Yeah, good little hesitation right there by Ty Barb.
Well, I mean, that's the mark of a well-coached team. You see a little bit of defensive adjustment. You have your guard slide to the corner, and wide open jumper right there. So Amarillo's done a really good job so far with that.
22, Javin Daniels with that foul. That's his first. Ty Barb at the line. He rolls in the first one. Of course, I believe this is the second appearance for the Wolves here in Viking Hall this year, as they took on the Vikings earlier this season.
That was a raucous affair.
That was a fun. That was really a fun night.
It was. Wow,
man, that's tough. Yeah. Brendan Housen just knocking down, just
one dribble up a ball screen,
straight up out of a dribble. That's hard to defend. Here's Witcher, dribbling to his left, little pull up,
nice
knocks
move.
It down.
Little 12-footer right there off a couple of bounces.
Pretty well defended, really.
Yeah, tough shot.
Now they go back to this little high post action. Lets him pick out where he wants to go.
There you go.
Has that ball stripped, but we're going to get a
dig
foul.
Down right there. Just got a little bit of arm, but that's what they're going to have to do, though. The big man brings that ball below his waist. The guard's really going to come down. We talk about these big guys in the front court for the Sandys, but we got Housen here, 6'4", right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's no small guy. But I mean, look at him come off a ball screen, one dribble, and just rise up and shoot it. That's another element that's going to be hard for Westridge to defend.
That last foul was on the Wolves. Jackson Dean, that's his first. And that was actually the first foul of the day on the Wolves. And
good offense there.
Good offense. You can't do much about that. It's Cade Hornecker on the dive. I mean, you just have to hope to put a body on that guy and impede his progress. And they were not able to do that. That pass was a little hot. And it'll go back over to the Sandys.
That's kind of one of those pick your poison plays, too, because if you go too hard to that short corner and try to press that guy, then you're leaving that dive wide open. So, but again, that's just, you're right, trying to get a hand on a pass there, try to get a body on him to get him off his route. That's about the only chance he got.
He looks like he's got really good footwork
he does.
as well.
I mean, pretty good hands, got long arms on top of that, pretty decently athletic. So, I mean, a guy he's going to be really tough to handle. Obviously, he's proven that he can step out to 15 feet and knock down a jump shot as well. So, you can't just play him as a straight up post.
Dawson Arnold picking up the first foul I don't think that guy realized how open he was.
No, he did not. Still made a nice move.
He did. Cooper Pillion knocking that one down. He came off of there, and all he had to do was drop step baseline. Didn't realize he was quite as open as he was. Know that field a lot. That happens to our post players pretty frequently.
Well, nobody comes that open off a flex play, especially out of bounds, right? Once in a blue moon. He found himself really well open. Nice screen to set him up there. He was able to finish. There goes that step back shot right there. My goodness.
Goodness gracious. Brendan Housen. That's really tough to defend, and that'll end the first quarter. Little run here at the end of the first quarter by Amarillo. They push the lead out to 11. A very entertaining first quarter here at the Arby's Classic. We're through one. It's Amarillo 29, Westridge 18 on the Viking Sports Network.
That is why they offer their orthopedic urgent care walk-in clinic at their Bristol Midway, Johnson City, and Kingsport locations, saving patients up to 60% compared to an ER visit. Orthopedic urgent care walk-in clinics are open Monday through Saturday with no appointment necessary. For more information, visit www.appalachianorthopedics.com. Appalachian Orthopedics, a proud sponsor of 2021 Arby's Classic.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 38th Annual Arby's Classic. Coach Charlie Tiller here with CJ Manahan and our producer Colin Moore here on the Viking Sports Network. We have had an entertaining first quarter of basketball here. Amarillo up on top of Westridge, 29-18. Get it inside the big guy. Hornecker, he definitely took some steps.
Yeah. Pretty good defense right there. Bergeron bodied him up well. That's what you got to do against a guy that's got that level of size advantage. But, I mean, just a note, 30 points in the first quarter. that is lighting it up, right? And so, and again, you think about the possessions that they had. There were very few misses in that, especially
and really
in the second
the misses
half
were early.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Second half of that first quarter, I'm not sure that they missed a half-court possession.
Yeah, that's pretty good efficiency right there.
No doubt.
We'll definitely see the stats at halftime and see what we've got, but pretty impressive stuff. Witcher on the drive. He's going to lose it out of bounds, and they're going to keep it with Westridge.
And I'm sure Coach Dyer, if he said, hey, you're going to give me 18 or 20 points in the first quarter, he'd be feeling good about that.
100%.
But, man, just an offensive onslaught here by Amarillo to move this first quarter along. And, I mean, I don't think there was anything Westridge was really doing wrong, more than it was just Amarillo just doing everything right. Finding interior passing, and then move the ball in the perimeter, and then just that last shot that Housen made. That's a Division I level shot right there. Step back, fall away, and just nothing but net.
Zay Landry Britton on the foul right there for the Sandys, his first. We're going to have a three here from Witcher off target. Corey Nickerson into the ball game, and he pulls down the rebound. Here's Nickerson at the top. Let's dump it inside, and we're going to get a body foul right here on Ty Barb. First foul on Barb. And lob it in. What a security blanket to be able to throw it into a big guy. They run that little flex play again and get a much tougher shot, but still able to put it in. It's DeBon's Woods.
That's where you see that size advantage really come into play right there. That's flex play is about as old as basketball, right? But when you can get somebody with a 2 or 3 inch height advantage in those positions, it's hard to defend.
Yeah, that time they really did a good job defending it. I mean, he just made athletic basketball play.
That's what you get.
Three-pointer on the way from Witcher is on target. And that cuts the Sandys lead back to 10. 31-21, and we're going to have a Sandys timeout here with 6:28 to go, a 30-second timeout. While they're taking this 30 seconds, let's tell you a little bit about the Sandys. The Sandys are led by Coach Jason Pillion, who led them to the 5A state semifinals last season behind a trio of talented juniors. They're led by Brendan Housen, who we have met already, the 6'4 All-State guard who signed with Villanova. So you know he can really shoot it because Coach Wright, that's pretty much a prerequisite for those guys. Averaged 17 points a game last year. Then you have DeMons Woods, the wing, who's been in some foul trouble, who averaged 11 points a game last year. And then Hornecker, who's the tallest player in this year's Arby's Classic, who signed with Southern Illinois, averaged 9 and 6 last year. So, really talented team, 3 potential Division I players, 2 that have already signed. Yeah. And, I mean, if you're signing with Villanova, you're a pretty high-level prospect.
Yeah. As you said, Coach Wright's not going to bring anybody in there. The way that program's been run.
Especially here lately.
Yeah, absolutely.
Goodness gracious. So yeah, he can really shoot it, and he's showing it off right here. And we're going to have a foul. Looks like it's going to be on the Wolves. Wade Witcher will pick it up. That's his first. It's the 4th team foul. This time they don't lob it into Hornecker. So
a little variation off that play, trying to go right back to the inbounder.
Mm-hmm. He got steps. Left a little quick right there. So Zay Landry Britton will turn it over, and it'll go back to the Wolves. Westridge trails by 10 here with 5:55 to go.
give Westridge credit. They're hanging around here. A couple of buckets, and we get this back to a 2-possession game, which I know Coach Dyer is, I'm sure that's what's on his mind right now, is keep this thing close, try to get to halftime within a couple of possessions. And there's Barb right there doing it for him.
Yes, sir. Well, that's one of the things with the three-pointer in the modern game. It can be a great equalizer. If you can knock those down consistently, you can stay in some ball games. Speaking of knocking them down consistently, he actually misses one.
Right there. Good hops by Barb to get up to that one.
Ooh, and
got away with one.
A little fortunate right there.
Yeah,
and a little steps right there.
Yep.
Drug that pivot foot on that jab step, and it'll go back to the Sandies. Of course, this again, the third of 5 games this evening. Up next, the host team, the Tennessee High Vikings, taking on Long Island Lutheran.
Top 5 team in the nation, from what I understand.
I believe they're up to 4th, the last I heard. So,
big time.
It'll be a big-time challenge for Coach McMeans and his guys. Good ball movement again. But Westridge has gone man-to-man here and trying to really make them a little bit uncomfortable.
Nice dive right there.
Oh, mercy. Good ball fake. And then just kind of passes it to himself there off the rim to Mons Woods.
Second time he's done that. Size advantage.
Hey, pad those rebounding stats a little bit, baby. Here we go in transition. Good ball movement again.
Nice cut.
Oh, mercy.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Well-disciplined offense there. Westridge doing the best they can, really doing a pretty good job of pressuring the ball. But as those possessions go on, the ball gets swung side to side. That athleticism starts to take over, and that just one cut is all it takes.
And that size, being able to see over guys,
correct,
to be able to make those passes, just makes it really tough.
Speak of the old flex right there. There it is. Right.
Up. Barb gets a little Merry Christmas present on that one. Just got it bounced around to him, and he just happened to be standing there. Oh, look what I found.
Yeah.
Give me 2 more points.
Westridge continues to hang around here as we head into the second half of the second quarter here. Yeah, nice pass. Yeah.
Tough stuff.
Just not a whole lot you can do about that.
No.
Especially when you have that type of vision to put that ball up on the rim. That was not an easy pass. He probably made that look really easy, but that's a lot harder than it looks.
Nice pass by Ty Barb right there. Really good stuff. And Cade Barnes with the lay-in right there. Barb made his life really easy right there.
Yeah.
Yep. We're going to get a foul. Yep. I thought we might get some steps right there, but the foul first. So they'll take it out here, baseline out of bounds. A little screen-to-screener action, but didn't get it there.
Nice pass.
Man, that's tough.
That's a backside cut right there. And just coming from a 7-footer, that's stepping out to the three-point line to be able to make that play. That's really good vision on his part. Nice catch there by Housen as well. Wasn't the best pass in the world, but it was right in the neighborhood where it needed to be. Good catch, good finish.
So Housen will shoot and complete the traditional three-point play, as folks say. And here come the Wolves. Now down 12. Really kind of need a bucket right here.
Good baseline drive, yep.
And we'll get a blocking foul. That'll be the 16th foul. So we're shooting 1-1 the rest of the quarter. For Nickerson, that's his first. But a pretty well-played, clean game here thus far.
I was thinking the same thing. Other than Woods picking up those 2 early ones, we hadn't really seen. The action's been pretty much half-court based, but really good execution, both offensively and defensively, playing without fouling. It's good basketball.
Yeah, and that was the case in the last game too, honestly. Although the offensive execution wasn't as good in the last game, there weren't a lot of fouls, and that was good until we got kind of late in the game.
We all love referees that we don't see for the most part. Anytime we spend any time around the round ball, stripes are in the background. That usually leads to the best ball that's possible.
Indeed. Brendan Howson will pick up his first foul right there, and that'll get Preston Sams to the line for a 1-and-1. Got to make these front ends right here, and he does not.
Yep.
You know, especially if you're a team in Westridge's situation here trying to pull an upset.
Yeah.
Those front ends, you got to make them.
Yep, agreed.
Good little pin down screen right there. It's into the big guy.
Nice move. Yeah.
I mean, nice touch. Hornecker with the bucket. Good little pitch out to Witcher on the trail, and he knocks it down.
That's impressive of Honecker too. He's turning over his right shoulder, his dominant shoulder. That's not an easy move for anybody, let alone a 7-footer. So it shows you that agility's there for him.
Looks like he's a little banged up right now, though.
Took a spill there. I wonder if he turned an ankle or something.
Looks like he's having a little trouble moving on that ankle right now. Hope it's nothing serious. He does set a good pin down screen though, and now we'll get it, and still is able to lay it in. That'll make you feel a little bit better.
Those buckets make you feel a whole lot better. I can tell you that.
Oh, nice play right there, and he won't be able to save it, but you like to see that. Dawson Arnold, the largest member of the Westridge team, it's standing at 6'8", checks in, 6'8" junior. I'd say it's pretty unusual for him to feel like the small guy.
It probably happens pretty rarely, I'd suspect.
Maybe if they played Abingdon this year, but that's about it.
Yeah. Nice pass there. Good ball movement.
We're going to get one more.
Yeah.
But instead, we'll get that one. Jackson Dean from downtown.
Hanging around.
Westridge again, back within 10. They could get some stops. They'd be in good shape again. I mean, like we talked about there, on an 88-point pace right now.
I think this little bit of a switch to man-to-man's helped Westridge here in the second quarter. It really has made Amarillo make quite a few more passes to get where they wanted to go. They could see over the zone really fairly easily. This is forcing these guys to really work for these buckets. That's what Coach Dyer's team really needs.
I think Amarillo might be trying to bleed it down for one shot here.
It's a good strategy up 10. Put it in the hands of your best player here too.
And now they're going to run something. 1-4 flat set. Yep. Let him create.
Nice
and
move.
the Villanova signee gets in here, shoots off a
footer
like he's Dirk Nowitzki and knocks it down.
Got fouled twice there, I think. Oh my goodness.
That's a big-time D1 move there.
It is, without question. He got hit twice, once on the way up and once on the way through. Still strong enough to be able to get that shot up on a lean too. He's falling backwards. Still knocked it down like it was nothing.
So Houston at the foul line, and he knocks it down. 1.9 seconds to go. Westridge will, that could be a really,
not really what you want to do there.
That could be really bad because now the Sandys
lob written all over it.
They'll get it right down here. He's going to take a quick 30-second timeout, I'd say, to draw one up, get him something here with 1.9. Have a chance to extend this 13-point lead to 15 or 16. So, again, impressive performance here really by Westridge to hang in, but Amarillo right now just a little bit too much.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't think Westridge has played bad at all. They've done pretty much everything, especially offensively, they can do to hang into this thing. But, I mean, Amarillo's just been really, really good executing in the half court. This has not been a transition game at all. It's been half court, half court, half court. But they're just really good in that set.
Who do you think they're going to lob this one into right here?
Not a whole lot of games being played here. I think it's fairly obvious the way this is.
I could be wrong, but
been around the game just long enough to see what's happening in this case. There it is. They tried to. Oh, they did try to be sneaky on us. Tried to be sneaky.
Coach is not thrilled with that.
I'm not sure that's the way that was drawn up.
Watching the way Coach Pillion is walking to the locker room, I'm not sure that's the play he drew, but such is life. But we go to the half. It's Amarillo 47, Westridge 34. I'm sorry, will you say that again, Colin? All right, so for your halftime entertainment here, we're going to have the Simplicity Dance Team. So we hope that you're enjoying the 38th Annual Arby's Classic. We'll be back with you here in a few minutes. As we tell you the score, it's Amarillo 47, Westridge 34 at halftime.
2015. Dancers' age ranges from 2 years old to adult. Simplicity's most recent performance includes dancing the pregame for the Atlanta Hawks NBA basketball game. Arby's Classic fans, put your hands together for Simplicity Dance Team. Simplicity Dance Team. Sporting Goods, we believe sports matter because participation in sports makes people better. Sports builds character, increase confidence, and motivate kids to stay in school and aim for higher education. But youth sports are in trouble. Billions in funding have been cut from school sports programs, and participation is down, which is why since 2014 we've committed over $50 million to provide financial support to youth sports teams and raise awareness of their importance of youth sports. Help us by donating during your next visit to a Dick's Sporting Goods store, or donate now by going to www.sportsmatter.org. Dick's Sporting Goods, a proud sponsor of the Arby's Classic. Scoring at halftime, first for Westridge, leading the way with 11, Wayne Witcher, 9 points for Ty Barb, 5 points for Jackson Dean, 5 points for Ethan Bergeron, 2 points for Gabe Barnes, 2 points for Cooper Johnson for 34 points. For Amarillo, leading the way with 16, Kane Hornecker, 14 for CJ Nickerson, 16 points for Brendan Lawson, 10 points for David Woods, 8 points for Kane Hornecker, 6 points for Zay Landry Britton, 4 points for Cooper Billion, 3 points for Drew Shaker.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 38th Annual Arby's Classic. Coach Charlie Tiller here with CJ Manahan and our producer Colin Moore. Share some first half stats with you, and they are eye-popping to say the least. Westridge shot the ball extremely well, 12 of 21 from the field, including 7 of 13 from 3. In most games, that's going to really get it done for you, unless you're playing a team like Amarillo that currently is 20 for 24 from the field.
Unbelievable.
I mean, just red-hot shooting, 15 for 17 from 3, or from 2. It'd really be something from 3. 5 for 7 from 3. And 13 assists on those 20 buckets. So, I mean, good ball movement, just doing a great job. I mean, Westridge has 10 assists on their 12 baskets. So we've seen really good passing, really good offensive efficiency. I mean, that's just basketball played at an extremely high level. And, I mean, I don't know about you, CJ. I didn't feel like the defense was bad.
No, I didn't. I think that matchups were taken advantage of a little bit on either end. You saw that Amarillo kind of sunk their big guys into the lane, trying to stop any cuts from happening. That opened up a couple of shots on the perimeter for Westridge, which they knocked down 7 out of 13 from 3. Coach Dye will take that any night of the week, I guarantee it. And again, Westridge is a little bit at a size disadvantage, and that was part of the issue on the defensive end. But they also shot the ball. Amarillo shot the ball really well, timely from 3 as well. So just offensive, as you said, offensive efficiency just on a really, really high level throughout that first half.
Yeah, I mean,
on both ends.
You look at it, the two teams combined for just 11 turnovers. Westridge had 7, Amarillo with 4. And, 5 of those 11 were steals. So, I mean, really pretty good defense, good offensive efficiency. We're kind of joking when we were looking at these. You look at the rebounding stats, they have 12 rebounds between them.
Haven't any rebounds to be had.
When you're not missing shots, that's going to happen.
That's the truth.
Okay, so you look individually for Amarillo, Brendan Housen, who, of course, again, has signed with Villanova with 16 first-half points on really good efficiency, 6 for 8 from the field, including 2 for 4 from downtown. Then also for the Sandies, double figures for DeMons Woods, who had 10 points on 5 of 7 shooting. So, and then you had 6 from Britton and 4 from Pillion. So, good offensive efficiency from those guys. Oh, and Hornecker also had 8. I overlooked that. So really good numbers for them. You look at the other end at the Wolves. The Wolves got 11 points from Wade Witcher on 4 of 6 shooting. They got 9 points from Ty Barb. Again, great shooting, 3 for 4 from the field, including 2 for 3 from behind the arc. And again, I felt like Westridge played extremely well offensively, but they've just run into an offensive juggernaut. And like we've talked about, a lot of the games yesterday, there was some good offensive efficiency, but it was transition. Guys getting out in transition, getting some numbers, being able to get easy baskets. This game, it's been all about offensive execution in the half court, and it's just super impressive.
Yeah, that's maybe been the hallmark of this so far. Is this has not been a run and gun style of ball game, even with the amount of points that have been scored. It's almost been fully about making the extra passes on the offensive end, finding open guys, high post to low post, and again, old school flex cuts, that type of thing that's been doing the job. So it's an atypical game kind of in a lot of ways, but with a really impressive score on the board right here. Offensively, both teams just doing everything they can.
Yeah, I think it'll be really interesting to see. Watching the winner of this game will take on Jonesboro. And the Hurricanes, they struggled a little bit offensively today, but they definitely want to get up and down. So it'll be definitely, no matter which of these teams, but especially if it's Amarillo and we see that contrast of styles.
Yeah.
That'll be something that'll be really fun to watch tomorrow. But that's getting a little ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
We got another half of basketball as Ty Barb starts it off. A little short on that shot, and as we've talked about all the half-court basketball, we're going to get some transition, and they get a layup.
Right out of the
and finish through the contact there. It's Zay Landry Britton with the and one. Ty Barb will pick up his second foul. Pretty impressive push right there.
Yeah.
And, of course, they make us look smart.
Well,
as we always are.
Yeah, we talk about that type of stuff just in general. Of course, that was a kind of a long rebound led to that, a little numbers game right there. And there's a really nice, strong take, finishing through some contact.
Completes the three-point play, does Britton, and the Sandies have pushed their lead out to their largest of the game here at 16 points. Witcher starting the second half after his 11-point first half.
Man-to-man here looks like as well.
Or else a really extended zone, actually.
Honecker's just kind of hanging in the middle, but there's Witcher again.
Playing that one-man zone anyway.
Right.
Sometimes that's what you do with the big there in the middle. So here we go as Witcher's three cuts it to 13. And the Sandies bringing it up here kind of slowly. He better get it across. Gets it inside. Hornecker, a little jump hook.
Nice move.
That's just, as a person who coaches post players, that's just beautiful.
Did a good job of getting a nice wide base there. There just wasn't any way to get around it. He's not the biggest guy width-wise, but he's got long arms. Used his elbows well there to keep his defender behind him, and there was no getting around him.
Zay Landry Britton picks up his second foul right there, and Coach Dyer's going to try and go a little bit bigger here with Dawson Arnold. And we're going to have a holding foul before the ball is inbounded, it looks like, or maybe a push-off. Looks like it's going to be a push-off on the Wolves.
Yeah. His elbow up a little high there.
Jackson
referee
Dean
caught it. Yep.
Jackson Dean picks up his second, and looks like we're going to have a
warning against the bench. It looks like
a bench warning.
Got to stay in the box there.
I always thought that's what the first technical was.
Usually that's how that went. Being a little generous this evening, right? Christmas spirit.
We've had quite a few. I've seen quite a few of those this year. Probably more than I ever remember, honestly. But
I don't see any harm in it.
No, I think it's. I'd much rather we do that than change the game with the technical.
Agreed.
And as a coach, I don't want to have to sit down. So.
And to be fair to the referees, I've seen some coaches abuse that rule.
It's probably true.
Yeah.
I don't know any coaches who would ever do that, but Preston Sam's called for the foul for the Wolves right there.
Yeah.
Nice little pull-up is no good. Battle for the rebound. And it's going to go back to Westridge here. I didn't get one today.
Yeah.
So that was good.
Well, and there's a little bit of etiquette that's involved in all of that. I think most oftentimes the referees are all right with coaches roaming as long as they're not, they're even okay with them hollering a little bit as long as it's at their players, not so much at the referees themselves. That's the way I always try to play them. I'm talking to my guy over
that's
there.
right.
I'm talking to my guy.
100%. Westridge with the ball here, baseline out of bounds. Into Witcher, he'll reverse the ball.
Good ball pressure there.
Has it taken from him. Zay Landry Britton is going to get a little one-handed jam. Really the first good one of those we've had today that I've seen. I wasn't here for the first game.
Start to press the pace here a little bit on Amarillo's end.
Westridge in a little bit of a danger zone.
Yeah, they are.
They need to try and get a bucket, or it's going to get a little out of hand for them.
Get up close to 20 points here. You see Amarillo's confidence is really starting to, not that they weren't confident in the first half, but you start to see they're smelling blood here a little bit. Pressing the defensive pressure out towards the half-court line now.
Witcher from downtown, he got it.
That's a big one,
And Coach Dyer will take a quick timeout. I mean, that's a big one to keep them in touch right here. All right, so it's going to be a 60-second timeout, so we'll take it with them. We're here at the 30th Annual Arby's Classic, and we'll be right back.
The Pepsi Beverage Company is a producer of Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Sierra Mist, Dr. Pepper, Aquafina, Gatorade, and more. You can find Pepsi at your local Fruit City or stop by the concession stand and have a Pepsi day.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 38th Annual Arby's Classic. Coach Charlie Tiller here with CJ Manahan and our producer Colin Moore. It's Amarillo on top of Westridge 56-40, and the Sandies bring it here into the front court. Get it into one of their big guys, and we're going to get a call for steps right there. Kind of slid that pivot foot a little bit.
Referee caught it rightly there. Again, a couple more buckets for Westridge to get them right back in this ball game. They've just kind of refused to go away. They've been down as many as 19, but it just doesn't feel like a bucket or two here. You're right back in it. There's three. Good look at it.
Three
on
target.
Right there.
And he knocks it down. That's Cooper Johnson. And that's one of the things with Westridge. They do have a bunch of guys that can shoot it. So, you know, they'll move it around and get that thing going.
Yeah.
Now we're going to have a foul on the interior.
Yeah. They look like they're really trying to isolate Woods there on the block. He's got a pretty large size advantage there.
I mean, listed it's a 3-inch height advantage, but from this vantage point, it looks like a little bit more than that.
Yeah. Barb's a little thicker. Physically can match up, but again, same type of thing. He's just not quite the length. And I'm guessing what's going to happen is they're going to start diving Honecker down from the high post down once they get that ball to the low. Yep,
that's exactly what they do.
Defender turned his back. That's textbook.
Little jump hook is no good. Hornecker on the offensive rebound, and he's going to be fouled before the shot.
Basketball is a pretty simple game when you think about it from those specifications. You got a size advantage. Separate your two bigs. Throw it down to one of them. Have the other one dive to the rim. Good things are going to happen a lot of times with that exchange.
And that's Dawson Arnold's first foul, or second foul, I should say. 5th team foul, so Wolves getting close to that, being in that penalty. Again, offensive rebound, and he can't quite get it to go, but Cooper Pillion that time going in there, looking like one of the smaller guys at 6'6".
He was the inbounder, too. Did a good job of finding a spot right there if that initial shot went up, chasing that basketball.
And Pillion knocks down the first one, so he'll get another. 57-43. Again, the Wolves hanging around, but the Sandys pretty efficient on offense. And pretty probably is a little bit of an understatement.
Yeah, right. Just been efficient from the jump, even though we didn't have a jump.
It's true. Efficient for the first inbounds pass.
That's exactly right. So I just caught that Pillion. I'm assuming he's the coach's son.
I would think so.
Yeah. Connecting dots here in the second half, right? Took me a minute.
Not the most common of last names.
No, it's not.
Witcher here out here on the wing. He'll put it on the floor and attack. Little pull up is no good.
Sandy's controlling the glass there too. There's Housen. He's been kind of quiet in the second half. Right until right about then, almost getting in and out.
And they can't get the shoot. That's half as many shots as they missed the whole first half on that one possession.
The truth.
That was very close to being a backcourt violation.
Yeah.
Pass is tipped out of bounds. It'll stay here with the Wolves. Really good crowd here in Viking Hall tonight, but there are still seats available. Love to see everybody get on out here. We've got a couple more games tonight.
People now getting off of work, I'd suspect. Make it out here. Oh, no.
Oh, mercy. In the right place at the right time for the offensive rebound, but couldn't get it to go.
Got to have those.
And it's a 14-point game. Pace has slowed a little bit here.
Yeah. Noticed on the last two possessions, the coach said, we need to get the ball to our best player. And again, I don't fault him for going down low here with the size advantage, but Housen has proved to be the best player on the floor out here, and not by just a little bit. So I suspect he'll probably get quite a few touches here down the stretch.
Really nice little action right there, penetrating baseline and hitting the big guy Dawson Arnold on the dive, and we'll get a foul here on Corey Nickerson. It's his third. You know, and another thing again that I've been really impressed with the Sandys especially, and I mean, and Westridge as well, but not many fouls.
No. Good disciplined defense, moving their feet well.
Defending without fouling. And I think he thought his guy was going to go with him, and he did not.
Yeah.
So, nice little two-man pitch and catch game right here.
Hornecker right there. Nice catch. That's a really nice play.
That's just really tough to guard.
It is. And that pass was even a little bit low. He still caught it, took it back up through the contact strong, and put it in the hole. That's what you got to do in those situations.
And really, Parker Lemming right there who got the foul. I mean, he did. I mean, if you're going to take a foul, you felt like, hey, I got a good chance. And he just powered up through it.
Right. But again, back to the last three possessions, everything's run through Housen on that end. He's had one shot go in and out on him, made a bucket, and then got a nice assist to his big man. I think you're going to see quite a bit more of that as we get into this, again, back in that danger zone here of 19, 20 points. This game gets above 20, even as well as Westridge has shot the ball. We're getting into the waning moments of the third quarter here. Amarillo's kind of feeling it here.
Well, and it comes down to, can Westridge get stops?
Correct.
I mean,
correct.
You know,
trading buckets is you're not going to get back in the game that way.
Really nice pass right there. Witcher will attack, little pull
nice
up,
move.
And he finishes through contact.
No quitting. No quitting these Westridge
They
Bulls.
just keep hanging around.
Yep.
Foul was on Hornecker. That's his second.
Nice move there, but Witcher too hung up in the air. Took a little shot on the elbow and was still able to make that shot through some contact. Nice move on his part.
So Witcher will try to complete the three-point play, and he does. And Coach Dyer's going to take another timeout. Looks like we're going to have a 30 right here. So we'll keep it right here and remind you again, this is the second or the third game of the day, third of 5. We've got 2 more today. Up next, the host school, the Tennessee High Vikings, take on Long Island Lutheran, one of the top teams in the country. And that will be followed at 8:30 by the Crusaders of Tampa Catholic taking on the Hurricanes of East Hamilton. East Hamilton got a win yesterday over our friends from Tabernacle Baptist of the Bahamas in a pretty exciting game. The first real close game of the tournament as they won by 3. Survived a late 3-point attempt here, a little double clutch action from the right wing by the Falcons that didn't go. So should be an interesting rest of the night. And again, we still got some seats available, got a great crowd here. You know, I'd say Viking Hall, what would you say, about 80%?
Yeah, I'd say we're at least 2/3 full.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit more than that.
I mean, it's pretty full in here.
Yeah.
We'd like to see it.
Yeah, it might be 3/4 full. Yeah,
but again, we still got some seats available. Y'all get on out here. So here's the Sandys. Great patience, great shot.
That's just been all night long.
I mean, you know, Cooper Johnson, or excuse me, that's Cooper Pillion. Both 10s are named Cooper. And then Pillion's going to take an offensive foul. So he makes 3 on one end, hits the deck on a charge on the other. So good job by him. And again, as we've talked about a lot, Westridge right here kind of in that danger zone here at 19. But they just keep hanging around. But got to get some stops.
Yeah. Right here, right now is what you're going to have it. These next about 4 or 5 minutes where that run's going to have to get you back within about 10 points by the midpoint of the 4th. You want to have a chance in this game. It just looks like Amarillo is just so well coached, and their execution's been so good. Look at that right there.
Nice kick out. Open 3 again is no good.
Good
tip no good. Tip again.
Good
and Westridge comes out of here with it.
But again, another really quality shot right there. Just came up a little bit short. Really like that action that they were running right there. I think maybe the coach wanted the final shot there, but it's pretty hard to turn that one down as wide open of a shot as it was.
Now put a little extended trap pressure on, and Westridge throws it out of bounds, but they're going to say that ball was deflected. And Witcher back in for the Wolves here with 8.4 seconds to go. Right down here in front of our broadcast location.
Bring a 7-footer back in here to guard the rim. Not a bad idea.
Nah, that's a heck of a luxury to have.
Got that right.
Oh, nice. Guy was open on the backside there for a second. I don't think that's what they were looking for. But I don't think they're going to get much right here. Oh, mercy. He about got it to go anyway.
Almost dropped it.
You know, pretty good shot right there for Cooper Johnson. And at the end of 3, it is Amarillo 65, Westridge 46. We'll be right back. We'd like to thank you for watching here on the Viking Sports Network.
Strongwell is pleased to be a 2021 sponsor of the Arby's Classic. For more than 60 years, the company has been a proud and active member of the Bristol community. On behalf of everyone at Strongwell, we'd like to welcome the visiting teams and wish everyone good luck at the Arby's Classics. Strongwell, a proud sponsor of the 2021 Arby's Classic.
All right, welcome back to Viking Hall and 38th Annual Arby's Classic. Coach Charlie Tiller here with C.J. Manahan and our producer Colin Moore. We begin the 4th quarter of our game here between Amarillo and Westridge with the Sandys leading 65-46. I'll have to say Sandys is one of my favorite nicknames in the tournament this year. I always like those unique ones. Those are fun.
they've been fun to watch all evening. There we are.
100%.
Really good execution there. Every possession they seem to be finding the open guy. Very little. I mean, I can't really think of a forced shot that they've had.
No, not really.
It's just been all getting the ball where it needs to go, finding the guy that's open at the time, and everybody out there seems to be confident enough to be able to rise up and knock down a jump shot if necessary. So, gotta love that. These are the types of teams that are really tough outs in tournaments like this. They can score at all three levels, but they're just so disciplined. You know, up and down's fun, but you know, half-court execution oftentimes can win you ball games.
Witcher with a little floater, no good. Zay Landry Britton will come out of here with it, and
nice
he pushes.
pass.
What a nice pass! Oh my gosh! And I think his guy wasn't quite expecting it. I think he thought it was a nice pass too.
Woods was just trying to run to the block there, and that ball got on him.
And Westridge is going to give it right back.
Ball got him just a hair quick. The ball, I think when it left his hand, I'm not even sure he could see it.
It's probably true.
Passed it by two Wolves on the way, ran right into it. Heck of a pass.
Nickerson gets it up here. Here's Pillion.
There it is.
A little high-low action.
Yep.
Padding his rebounding stats. And we'll go to the foul line.
That's really good execution there, too. Nice high-low action.
That's just really hard to guard.
It is. You got two bigs that seem like they pass the ball pretty well. You like the fact that they're looking for each other.
Bergeron picks up his first foul there, and Hornecker will go to the line, and he'll drop in the first.
Mark of a seasoned big as well is when they catch that ball, it stays high. It doesn't come down to below the chin. He caught it, took it straight up. Ball never actually really came below his forehead. And when you're 7 foot tall, nobody's going up to get that thing. So, but again, he's been coached well, you can tell.
Nice soft touch on those free throws too, which you don't always see from a 7-footer. And that's going to be out of bounds. That's going to be off of Ty Barb. And it'll go back over to the Sandies. Amarillo leads by 23. As we come down here to about 6.5 minutes,
nice
gets
catch.
it inside to the big guy.
No, it's a heck of a pass right there.
Really good hammer pass right there. Yeah. Shot comes up short, and then he fouls out of frustration after shooting the air ball. That has been known to happen on occasion.
Hornecker is really showing all the different facets of his game here. Rolling off a high-low, catching high, going up strong. Low post, and that was not an easy catch that he just made right there, too. Passes a little bit off to his left. Catch, pivot, be able to fire that pass all the way across the baseline and find an open
and really
player.
Put it on target.
Yeah, right on.
I mean, that's the thing.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's something you really like to see with your bigs. If they can pass out of the post on target, it just makes everybody else's life so much easier. Here's Witcher with a little pull-up, and he's got it.
Inside out is a great way to get open jump shots. Maybe the best way. And that's something that Amarillo's done all night long. They've been able to find those guys in those positions, and they've been always willing to make that extra pass. Nice up and under. Ooh, a little Euro step there.
100%.
Nice move.
Pretty tough stuff.
Left hand as well.
71-48, the Sandies on top. Just under the 6-minute mark here of the fourth quarter.
One other observation with Amarillo is that I don't know that we've seen the best that Woods.
Oh, goodness, that's great defense
really
right there.
Straight up.
Not fouling, really getting vertical. It's really good stuff.
I'm not sure we've even seen the best that Woods has to offer yet. Just observing that in the second half, he looks like he's a pretty quality low post player. Picked up a couple of quick early fouls, and the combination of Howson and Hornecker kind of took over there in the first half, but he's kind of asserted himself here in the third and into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it kind of took him out of his game a little bit because even when he came in, he had to play a little more tentative, it looked like.
Yep,
and,
agreed.
You know, here in the second half, he's played a little bit more free and looked to be a little bit more aggressive, but just hasn't gotten in his flow, it doesn't look like. But when you got two other really good players, you can be a little bit off.
They're going to him regularly here.
I think they're trying to get him going because I'm sure that they know with all the good teams in this tournament, they're going to need him. Yeah, well,
6'6", broad-shouldered guy, long arms on top of that, really good athlete, runs the floor well. You got that trifecta of those three individuals, but if they're all playing well, it looks like Especially, like I said, sometimes it's hard to gauge these teams in their first games after having to travel over the holidays and everything else. That first game, they may not necessarily always execute the best. if
they're just warming up, it's going to be bad news for some folks.
So goodness gracious.
You know, I mean, that's kind of the way I felt watching last night the Dr. Phillips game.
Yeah.
You know, the first half they didn't shoot it well. They were 1 for 6 from 3, and you know, Volunteer was able to hang in, and Volunteer played really well. I mean, kind of like Westridge tonight.
Yeah.
Played really well. You know, hung in there, and they just didn't seem to be very cohesive. But then in the second half, they started hitting some shots. They came out, and I felt like they hit 5 or 6 threes just in no time and just got going. And it was like, okay, this is the guys we've been talking about.
Yeah. Well, good teams are going to find their legs. And again, when you got teams come from all around the country, travel schedules and everything else, usually that first night out is going to be you're going to get a little bit of who they are, but that second and third nights are usually where they start to really shine.
Yeah, and that's where the depth comes in too, because you're able to play those 2 or 3 days in a row.
Correct.
And still play at a high level.
Five minutes to go.
And again, I mean, they just got it back under 20 again. I mean, Westridge is just kind of living in that little zone, but just can't quite get there.
Yep.
That's a tough pull-up. Wade Witcher gets the rebound.
But even though he missed that, I mean, you can just see the smoothness to his game. Just a little shake right there, quick little jab step, and he got right where he wanted to go at that elbow area. I mean, it doesn't look like much, but that's not easy to do, right? Especially against quality defense. So that's what a Division I player looks like when they're out here in these cases. They just kind of get where they want to go at just about any given time.
Westridge being patient on offense right here. Oh, and then that ball was deflected, and it'll stay with the Wolves. Dawson Arnold back in for the Wolves. Get to bang around with Hornecker some more. Wolves being patient, of course, you know, but they need some buckets.
Nice
Tybar, blue floater, can't get it to go. Arnold, good offensive rebound. And he'll get a chance to get to the line.
Good backside rebound there. Got a little hip into Hornecker, is able to clear some space. Earned himself a couple of free throws.
Drew Schaefer just into the game for Amarillo, picks up his first foul. And Arnold knocks down the first one. You know, sophomore big man.
Good looking stroke there.
Yeah, there's a chance to be a good player for Coach Dyer and those guys.
Confident stroke there. Big guys that can shoot it. Love it. Half-court action here. Trying to keep Woods kind of isolated there, working in and around him. He's screening and posting.
And we're going to get an illegal one on Hornecker.
Yep, it's a good call. I've seen so far early in the season, I've seen refs really looking for that.
Yeah,
point of emphasis.
I was talking about that in the last game, how that's really been a point of emphasis, really the last couple of years. We've seen quite a few of those.
And it's the right call. Anytime offense is running that way, those bigs really, or anybody setting screens, really got to be set.
Nice block right there by Hornecker, who has 4 fouls and gets on the floor. I love seeing it from the big guy.
And
then rewards your big guy.
That's it. That's how you do it.
I love
Nicely
it.
done. Yep.
That's good stuff right there.
Veteran leadership, you can tell. That's how you do it. Get yourself
100%.
out. Didn't really have numbers, but he found his big guy who'd already dove on the floor once. Just out of general purpose, if big guys run in the middle of the floor, you got to get it to him. But that Hornecker really earned that one by getting dirty, at least initially. But that's what your veteran point guard needs to be doing. You notice again these last couple of possessions, everything's been running through Housen right here. The ball's in his hands every possession. He's kind of dictating where the offense goes, and for good reason.
Something I really like about him too. You've talked about how he gets where he wants to go. He plays at his pace all the time.
Correct.
That's something that we talk to our point guards about a lot. Is you want to play at your pace, not at the other team's pace. When a team is pressuring you or a team is pressing you, they're trying to speed you up or they're trying to slow you down. You got to play at your pace,
right.
And if you can control the tempo, and he definitely does that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something and you would expect with a kid of his pedigree that he'd be able to do that, but it's just an overlooked thing a lot of times. Nice backdoor cut.
Kick out, back to him. Look at that. He kept on moving. Found himself a shot in the corner.
I knew that was going in too. That was just good rhythm.
Yep. I like the fact that right there again. The pace is there. It seems like the game is being played at his pace from top to bottom. He's the one dictating the pace in that case. Ball's getting where it needs to go. Good D right there by the big man.
That's something that they've done. Every time that his man has come out to set a ball screen, he really shows out hard right there. And, I mean, that's a tough thing for a big guy to do.
He's got good enough lateral movement to pull it off.
To have that kind of confidence in your big guy to really let him do that. Because, I mean, that takes a lot of trust, first of all, from your backline defense. But I'll tell you, it's really tough when he comes out there and traps you.
Right. Well, and from a coaching perspective, as we said early in the game, you don't want your big guys picking up fouls, 40 feet from the basket. But he seems to play really under control out there. And so you earn that trust by going out there and making those plays.
So about 2 minutes to go. The Sandies have gone pretty deep into the bench now.
Nice pass.
Nice kick out right there. Witcher from three. It's going to go over, and for some reason, okay, we are going to call it out of bounds. A little slow on that one.
Yep.
But still.
Benches are clearing at this point. I mean, you got to commend Westridge, really, honestly. For a good portion of that game, bucket here or two, here or there, and that could have, you'd be down into single digits, and then it's anybody's ball game. But it's just the way Amarillo has executed this entire night. They just weren't able to get once that lead got up above 16. They just weren't really able to dig back in because, as you said, getting stops was just really tough against this bunch.
Threw that one down there to Coach Clark sitting down there on the baseline.
He was open.
I don't think he doesn't have his hands up.
No, he wasn't really looking.
So 90 seconds to go. Westridge gets a drive. Throws it up. Oh, mercy. Yeah. He got that one through there. That's pretty good stuff. Couldn't go for him. Here's Jackson Williams, number 1 into the game for the first time for the Sandies. He handles here out front. Unfortunately, on our roster, we don't have classes for these guys, but he looks like a youngster.
I'm guessing we got some freshmen and sophomores in the game here at this point. Probably from both sides, I guess.
I'd say there's a good chance of that. Well, this young man is actually a senior, number 20 for Westridge, Chris Watkins, just into the ball game. He's going to get a chance to get his first Arby's Classic points. And his free throw is good. So he's into the scorebook. A couple more substitutions for the Wolves. Houston Sherfy in for the first time for the Wolves. Number 34, Parker Lemming back in. He's been in once before. The Wolves bring a little pressure, get a steal. And a little out of control there, but
reach in foul.
Got the reach in first before he just flat plowed that guy into the basket. That's all right. So Cade Barnes will get to the line here. Barnes, a 6'3" senior. And his first one will be up and in. Again, folks, stick around. We got 2 more games tonight. The Tennessee High Vikings take on Long Island Lutheran here shortly. And then Tampa Catholic and East Hamilton will close out the night. Down to 50 seconds to go. Yeah, CJ is a guy who's played in this tournament. Talk a little bit about what it's like, to play a team like this and what that does for you as a team.
Yeah, my junior year we played Chattanooga Brainerd, who had a couple of Division I players on there, and the athleticism is just a little different. The game speed is much higher, and as you said earlier, you really got to be able to play under control. That was one of those games we played in. We played pretty well in the first half, hung around, and then that second half, as you said, the depth and the athleticism just kind of takes over. We weren't a particularly deep team, even though that the team I was on that junior, we made the Final 8 in the state that year. So we're a quality team.
But something like that had to help you.
No question.
I mean,
absolutely.
Because you're not going to play a better team.
No, you're not. No.
So if you can hang in a game like that, which I think Westridge has today, it gives you something to really build on.
Absolutely.
Going into going into your conference play and going into postseason.
And I know teams around in East Tennessee, part of the reason why they want to be a part of this tournament is for exactly that. I mean, you're going to see quality competition that can really only make you better. And what it'll also do is show you who your primetime guys are. You're just not going to see a crowd like this every night, but you're also going to see the guys that want to compete in those types of situations. And you'll also see a little bit of the guys that are going to shrink from those environments. So what you really want to see is a team effort and everybody just kind of going out there working together, working through some of that hard stuff. I mean, as you said, I don't think Westridge played bad in that first half. They just got completely out-executed by a team that seems to just have that as part of their MO, right? So I'd say both hats off to both teams, really, and that was a fun game to watch. Even though it wasn't really the typical up-and-down game, it was a lot more of a half-court execution game. But if you're a basketball junkie, like you and I happen to be, that's fun stuff to watch.
What you like to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, that's good stuff, and we're going to have a little bit of we'll give you a little bit of stats here and wrap this one up, and then get ready to move on to the penultimate game of the evening. So let me pull these up here real quick, and we'll talk about the game stats. So, again, the final score was Amarillo 76 and Westridge 58 for the game. Man, they really cooled off there in the second half. Amarillo only ended up 30 for 45 from the field.
Golly. Wow. Yeah.
I mean, just ice cold there in the second half. 7 for 12 from 3. So, and again, Westridge shot 50% from 3. They were 11 for 22, 18 for 43 from the field overall. They had 14 assists on their 18 baskets, so that's pretty impressive for the Wolves. 20 assists on their 30 baskets for Amarillo. So, again, pretty outstanding stuff. Amarillo ended up out. We did finally have some rebounds. Amarillo out-rebounded them 24-18, so a pretty impressive performance there.
Yeah.
Now, as we talk about some individuals here for Amarillo, they were led in scoring by Brendan Howson with 21 points on 8 of 12 shooting, 3 of 6 from 3. They also got 15 points from Zay Landry Britton. Not one of those guys that's on the top of the scouting report, but he did a heck of a job, 6 for 8 from the field. Then on down there, you had Hornecker with 16 points on 6 of 8 shooting, and Woods, after early foul trouble, ended up with 13. So, these guys all got their numbers, all did a good job.
Yeah, great balance all the way through. They did a good job of working inside and out overall. I didn't feel like they really forced anything. I mean, it's really kind of an interesting outcome in the fact that I'm trying to think back to where were any of the 4 shots in the half court, and I just don't know that there really were any. Of course, they shoot an extremely high percentage that reflects that.
Sure does help.
My goodness, it seemed like on every possession they got the ball right where it needed to go, and if nothing else, somebody got a wide open look out of what was happening.
Absolutely. So for Westridge, they were led in scoring. Their only double-digit scorer tonight was Wade Witcher with 22. He was 5 out of 7 from 3. Had a really good shooting night for Wade. On down the line there, you got 9 points from Ty Barb, which was second on the team. Jackson Dean had 7. So, pretty good night for the Wolves offensively.
There won't be too many nights that Coach Dyer's team goes 11 for 22 from the three-point line
and loses.
Yeah, let alone by 20.
You're not going to go 11 for 22 very often, period, but to go 11 for 22 and lose, that's just is what it is. But you run into a team that can execute that way, and it sure is tough. But
absolutely.
That'll wrap up this game. CJ, it was a lot of fun.
Yep.
And we'll get ready for the Vikings taking on Long Island Lutheran coming up here very shortly, about a little less than 10 minutes away. And we'll take a little break right here. And again, you were watching the 38th Arby's Classic on the Vikings Sports Network.
13 points for Devon Woods. 8 points for Cooper Billions. 3 points for Drew Schaefer. For a total of 76. And the final score, Amarillo 76. Westridge 58.